Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. I'm a Stampin Up Demonstrator, and I'm pleased to show you how to make this cute card. And we're doing a technique today called swirly baby wipes, and that's this background that we'll be trying to do, or we will be doing. So I got this idea from Kelly Etchison, so thank you for that idea, Kelly. I also did another one in pink, and these two dies are in the artistic dies. So they have this flower and this flower, and then these go with the stamp set that coordinates with it, and that is a bundle. I also got the sentiments from that same stamp set. I made another card using this same flower or leafy thing, and this is in my a la carte cards that I make, and it has the gold. This is gold, and there are actually gold pieces in the designer paper, and these people can order online. Okay, let's get started. So if you are in my club, you will have received 2 baby wipes in a plastic bag, and all of the pieces for the stamp set. I wanted to show you this cool macrame, it's called macrame embossing folder, and that's what we did on this white outline here. Alright, so we will need the little one like that, and the dimensions of this one are 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I'm just taking and if you have the kit, this little piece is for your sample. So I'm taking 2 baby wipes, and I just got these. These are the Kirkland brand, and they're very inexpensive. I use them all the time. The more expensive it seems the baby wipes, the more pilly they get, like the Huggies brands, and those, they tend to leave little marks of cotton or whatever fibers they have in their wipes. So you want to avoid that kind if you don't want those on your stamps. And I also clean my stamps with these as well. So I'm taking some refills, 2 refills. You can use any colors. I wanted to make it a little bit, not masculine, but a little sort of more masculine. And I'm using Soft Succulent, one of the 21, 23 in colors. And this was just a folded wipe. You don't want to crunch it up, you just want to fold it so you have a nice straight edge. So it's folded in half, and then in half, and then in half again the long ways. So we'll take our refill and we'll put a generous amount, about 2 inches, 1.5 inches on our baby wipe on that edge. And then I'm just going to swipe it in a swirly manner like that. And you go all the way down. The key is to not press real hard, because if you do, it makes the paper all wet, and then you have to wait till it dries. And in the event you don't like how it's turning out, you can always flip it over and do it again. So this will be covered up, but I like it. I think it'll make a nice card. Now I pressed a little too much on this part and it made it a little wet. You really won't be able to see that, but it made it sort of pilly. When that dries, then you can just wipe it off and it'll get that excess wet off. The next color I'm using is Pale Papaya, another new in color. And same thing, just a folded baby wipe. I'm using the straight edge, putting the refill on the edge, about the same amount. This one's a little smaller. And then I'm just going to, see, this is wet, so it's It's curling up, but that's okay. You can let it, when it dries, it'll be flat. So now I'm just putting some random marks in here. You don't have to go along the same lines, you can, but we're just adding a little bit of brightness to it, like that. These are very wet, and it's making those little pilly things. It's not the wipes, but it's actually the paper that's getting wet and it's peeling up. So now I have to set that aside a little bit so that it can dry, and then I'll wipe all those off. In the meantime, I can show you, we can put the rest of the card together. I used you can do this one or two ways. I did use, for the club members, I did use the adhesive backed paper that, they're the adhesive back sheets that are sticky on two sides. If you received one of those kits and you see all the white on top, you don't necessarily want to poke out all the holes yet, but you do want to pull these off, and I just used my thumbnail and pulled the white off. And the reason you want to do that is this is just wax paper that helped it come out of the die easier that I put over the top, but they didn't come off easily when you pulled it off. So I would suggest taking that off to start with. Then, so now here's one that has those off already. And again, I didn't pull out all the holes, but I do have the adhesive on the back. So when you take the adhesive off, I guess I can't do that yet. We have to put the card together. Yeah, we'll do that first, sorry. So now we'll just assemble the card. I'm going to use a little bit of Tombow glue. It's textured, so that'll make it better stick. This is just a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece with that embossed in that macrame folder. And the nice thing about doing a black and white base is that you can put any colors on using your wipes. So I'll put this on. Like so. Oh, I almost forgot. On the inside, again, this is almost dry. So on the inside, I did take my baby wipe technique things and I put along the edge, I just did a swirl along the left edge, and then I took some of the yellow and did the same thing. So you have an interesting inside of your card. Put that inside. Now this piece is just about flat. It has some of those pills on, like I mentioned. I'm just going to wipe those off, and they come right off. And now we'll attach it to our card. If you attach it when it's wet, it may not stay, and when you put your leaf on the top, it may not stick either, so that's why you want it dry. Put that like so. And now we can do our little leaves. So I'm using my pickup tool, and you don't want to grab from the bottom stem, because when you do that, it picks up, it sheds, or well, not sheds, it spreads the paper apart and it doesn't come off evenly. So I would just take one of the leaves, the end of the leaf, and gently peel it off. And the idea is to just see white on this side and black on that. If you see black on the white side, that means you pulled off too many layers, so you have to like push it down so you don't ruin your card. Now this should pull out most of the pieces that are in the holes. That's why I said you didn't need to poke out everything, but you can. You end up poking up some of them anyway, but it takes the majority of them. So I'm just peeling off this backer. It's very, very sticky. And then we will have to poke out some of these holes. If you go from the back, they might work easier so that you don't get everything all sticky. Oh, then I gotta get this leaf. This is when the silicone pad is nice because it won't stick to that at least. Okay. Now we gotta poke out the rest of these. It says very sticky. So I guess I can do it this way and they'll stick into my, they should stick to my finger. And of course it's doing everything that I tell you it's supposed to do and it's not. Isn't that always the way? There we go. Sorry, it's kind of klutzy. It's such a good look. Okay. Or if you don't want to do it this way, you can just glue it down. Well, I can't. If I don't use this, it'll stick to everything. Almost done. But you can just glue it down with either your Tombow glue or you can use a dotted glue to put it down. I just thought this would be easier for everyone. Makes a nice mess. Ooh, is that crooked? Okay, it's going to be crooked. So then I just put this on here, kind of swirled it. Swirl it around and press it down. And you have a nice look. And it hides any imperfections. And this does go, the ink does dry lighter. Man, this is way off. I'll fix that later. And then I just added a sentiment, the hello, and this is popped up. And that's all there is to this card. Very simple with the inside of your swirls. And that's all there is to that one. So I hope you enjoyed the technique and go make one. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.